I want to do deathless. You want to do deathless. He, she, we want to beat this game without dying. But how do you do it? Well, we're going to go over that in today's video. To start off, we got to make our way to this hut and create our character. Pretty simple. There are many options to do. I'm going to be showing my build, and I recommend it. Starting off with the night and the bonfire aesthetic, we create our little character, add some flair, and get going. And before we get anywhere, I want to thank you all for watching this video, clicking on it. Been doing YouTube for about a year, and all of you who have subscribed, watch videos, it's what motivates me to keep going, making videos, to be clear. And all those videos has given me skill and practice for me to actually be able to do this run, so thank you all. And if you aren't subscribed, first time on this channel, then welcome. I post videos pretty regularly, so I do recommend subscribing if you like seeing challenge runs. Or if you're using this for a tutorial, then should subscribe if it works for you. Anyway, we grab the cell door set, which will increase our souls gained. Now we have a few items on our checklist. First is a weapon. Second is money to get said weapon. Third is bonfire aesthetics. And fourth is a few Estus flask shards. Most people do not like using the Estus flask, but I use it. But first we need to grab ourselves some money before we could do anything else. And who better to rob than Big Man Dragon Rider? We throw him off the ledge, take his money, which we are not going to spend just yet. I know that's a lot of money to be holding on to your pocket, but just trust me for a moment. You want to save it. So we warp back to Majula, and we're heading down to the Forest of Fallen Giants. We got to make our way through, and I recommend fighting people. Like I said, we're going to need quite a few souls for what's planned, so every penny just makes it better. But once we make it here, we are going to meet our best friend of the run and buy a few items from her. One bright bug and the blacksmith key. Make sure not to fall in there. I did once. It's not recommended. With all these items, we can return, open up this doorway, grab a bow, which will be a surprise tool that will help us later once again. And you got to reset the area to make him go in the room. It's kind of weird, but whatever. And you talk to him. He says a lot of things I don't read and I don't listen because I don't care. Buy some Titanite and boom, +3 weapon, 1 boss defeated. Like, that's pretty good. We pop this soul because we don't have enough dexterity to wield the rapier just yet. But we will now that we popped all this. That's what I meant by every soul matters. And we level up adaptability. Swordsman, while having good HP, does not have a lot of adaptability, which obviously we're going to need. Then we're over here to go fight the Pursuer. I like to fight him up here because A, you can pick up the Estus flask shard here, and B, I just think this arena is a lot safer than his other one. The other one does have the ballista. If you want to fight him there, then A, you do you. I ain't gonna judge, but then that means you're not following the tutorial, which that's not cool, dude. Not much to say, just kind of bait out his dash, and then you're fine. Once we beat him, we get the Ring of Blades, which increases our sword's damage, which is pretty good. Hey, who's going to complain about more damage, am I right? With that, we got to make our way back through. And that fog gate right here is my greatest enemy because there are 2 guards and you can get knocked out from it. It's like, they knew what they were doing putting them there, and I will never forgive the devs for putting that there. Anyway, so we rest up, and then we talk to her a bit more, buy another bright bug, and some life gems. So then we can get the Silver Serpent's Ring, which increases how many souls we get once again, because again, we're greedy, we need money. We return, pop this soul, and then talk to the green herald over here. What we're really going to be leveling up the majority is vigor and adaptability. It's really just going to be those two stats for majority of the run, as you'll see. The last giant, not much to say. As you can see, obviously this build's doing pretty good for having bare minimum stat requirements. And it's one-shotting most enemies, shreds through bosses. You'll see that more later. We make our way to the Lost Bastille and pick up the Dull Ember. We're going to need that to get our blacksmith friend going. Throw the barrel down there. If it doesn't explode, there's a man with a metal stick up there. If he hits it, it will explode. So, backup plan if needed. Anyways, we pick up these items over here, talk to a big man, mash his dialogue, make sure to give him the item, then buy some Titanite to get this thing to +6, which is great. Then we buy this fragrant branch of yore. And a lot of our money early game is going to shops, not a lot of leveling up, which is a bit of a problem, maybe. So this is more of a, probably should have said this earlier, this isn't like a for beginner level guide. This is for people who have probably played the game at least 4 or 5 times, and you should probably be fine. Anyways, we're making our way here. We're grabbing another Estus Flask Shard, which is, of course, just more healing. Who doesn't like that? We're also going to find another very important ring over here, being the Chloranthy ring, +1, which is just stamina regeneration, which for having a small stamina bar, obviously that's going to be quite helpful. We also get the only Titanite chunk I will be grabbing this run. I know where a few more are, but they're hard to get or dangerous to get, so I myself am not going with them. And this weapon already does enough damage, so it's like not that big of a deal. If you want more, you can definitely go grab more, but you do you. Najka, I just walk backwards for a lot of her attacks, and it like always misses. It's kind of funny. And honestly, that's a very good strategy for fighting anything. Just moonwalk, bro. When she goes underground, if you shield with your sword and spin around like this, it gives you good RNG for when she comes back up, making it way easier to take her down. And luckily, things went pretty simple here. If you get toxic, I recommend just popping 2 life gems at once to mitigate the poison. And you gotta do it quick, because if not, I mean, you're basically over. Either way, with all this, we're able to pump our HP and adaptability up more. Not looking too bad, if I do say so. Back in the Lost Bastille, we're doing a little bit of robbery, blowing some things up, just a few funky crimes over here. Our main thing we're going to be grabbing is actually right here, the fragrant branch of yore, and also the life of this pursuer. I mean, that's just more free souls. If you had fought him earlier, then which you have to, obviously, to be here, but you know how to fight him, and he's not that much more difficult. In fact, he's easier with everything included. Then making our way back to the Shaded Woods. If you're unlucky like me, you might get invaded, which is... Honestly, I was kind of wondering if the run could end to it, because, I mean, Forlorn is just really annoying to deal with. But luckily, if he's not guarding, you can kind of get a shield, or like you can kind of stagger him, which is helpful. With this lightning paper, I head back to the Lost Bastille to fight the Ruined Sentinels, and yeah, a hot knife through butter, just kind of cleaved through them. I recommend once you beat the first one, let the second one jump up there, and you should be able to take him down before the third one gets up there. Within a hit or two, maybe, but just be aggressive. Walk around the swings, it's handy. When you reach the next bonfire, we make our way down here. And guess who we're gonna meet again? That's right, Pursuer for the third time and final time, sadly. With all those souls, we buy the cat ring, which will be helpful in just a moment, and pop this soul. Obviously, some nice more money. Give her a good talking to, believe it or not, level up HP and adaptability again. Bet you didn't see that coming. We head back to the Lost Bastille for the final time because we came here to grab the Great Bonfire aesthetic, putting us at 2, which we need one more. And if you didn't know, there's one right after the congregation. So let's go rob them. These guys, you don't need to have lightning paper running, but I used it earlier to take care of the guys outside because they're honestly more of a challenge than these guys. And you shouldn't struggle here. You should be able to 1 to 2 tap the regular guys, and then you're done. But once you leave the area, right behind them's the ladder, and you go up there for our bonfire aesthetic. Heading down to the gutter, I chose to fight the Royal Rat Vanguard. You don't have to. It can be risky because they can turn you to stone, which is an insta kill. So if you fight them, be safe, like I was. But if you're not confident that you could do it clean, then probably don't do it. But we make our way, we did make our way through the gutter, and it's important to get poison there. It adds something later. Well, later, I mean in just a moment. For you see, if you are poisoned, actually, this hand creature right here will not grab you. He already understands you're suffering enough and doesn't want to add to it. He's really kind of like that. But once we're here, we grab the bonfire, and because we're invaded, we can't rest, so we just go ahead and challenge the Rotten anyway. It's no big deal. Throw some lightning paper on and shred through his HP bar. Yeah, obviously, that's pretty easy. Not much to say to that one just yet. All you need to know for the Rotten is if you back roll twice, he won't hit you with anything. Not at his dark magic AoE, not his swings, not his slashes, not his grabs. 2 is really just to make sure you're safe, honestly. And all into HP and adaptability. Surprised? You really shouldn't be. Then we pop the rat soul and the soul of the Rotten because we need to grab here. This one's important, is to buy the 3 bright bugs. We pop them here because when you're invaded, which happens here, it will not let you pop a bright bug. And you could pop it in the arena, but it's just a lot safer to do it outside. This mitigates it helps clean up the damage difference from New Game Plus. But anyways, we level up some more, and once you reach 32 adaptability, stop leveling it up. You're good. When you reach 60 in vigor, you're good. Stop leveling it up. And start putting points into endurance in a bit, into vitality. I plan on wearing some better armor, so if you do too, then level it up, obviously. But with these last souls popped, we're at a good million, which means we can make it to the Shrine of Winter. But first, we do buy some Homeward Bones and some lightning paper, because obviously those are handy. And look at how much HP we were able to live with. This is why we leveled it up, people. You don't want to die, or I'm assuming you don't. That's why you're watching a deathless tutorial. These guys, you should be able to 2-shot, which should be fine. You talk to Big Man, and I buy 200 here, and I go back later to buy more, so if you have the souls, buy a few extra and you'll be fine. At this point, once you get endurance to like maybe the 25 to 30 mark, you don't really need to do it anymore. But anyways, now we're going to be upgrading the bow. This, again, not in use just yet, but it'll be a main source of, well, helpfulness in just a moment. First up, we knock these cards out over here to open this door because, that's the password, taking somebody's life for whatever reason. Then, I'm opening this door so I can get the Faram armor. Highly recommend this armor myself because it's cool. So obviously that means it's good, right? And again, if you don't feel confident trying to dodge the ruined sentinel or kill more guards, it's fine. You do you. But while we're here, we're going to do a nice little exploit. Did you know if you pop a bright bug while your character is standing in rain or water, quit the game, and then reload it, that bright bug will last forever now? Neat, right? Well, I'll learn in just a moment. If you warp or use a homeward bone, you do lose that effect, which I did not know. I only knew how to set it up. So keep that in mind. Either way, the Dragon Rider's right here. Cut through them real easy like. The bright bug was not needed, but it was just the easiest way to set it up. We take down Big Red, and then Big Blue goes down shortly afterwards. Great. Of course, gotta light the bonfire, make our way up the ladder to take these guys down. And I myself use the homeward bone here. It's a lot safer, a lot easier, but it does undo the bright bug. So if you want to try and make your way through, you could, but I think losing the little bonus from it, but ensuring I get back to the bonfire safely is a lot more important, Here we got the Looking Glass Knight, and if you wait too long, he will summon an ally, which obviously a 2v1 is not advisable. So we want to be pretty aggressive in taking him down. I don't recommend full-on trading, but if you get hit once or twice just to get a good counter hit, yeah, that's definitely recommended. When he does this, that means he's summoning his friend. I don't spam click, because then he takes less damage when he's doing that. But, no harm in hitting him a few times. The Shrine of Amana is when our bow will come in handy. These guys really don't have an answer for range. So keep your distance. And, if they get close, switch to your sword if necessary. But, honestly, yeah, you can see how effective this bow is. This one portion here is where it gets a little bit challenging. However, stay in this area. If you go into deep water, it limits your mobility, so staying over here just makes it safer for you. And I don't recommend running because then you could get jumped. So remember, arrows while slow means safe. The Demon of Song you can shoot a few times before the start of the battle, which gives you a pretty good lead, which is obviously quite handy. And when he first pulls down his skin flaps, you can get a hit or two. Don't be too greedy or else you're going to sell like I almost did. You expect to learn a lesson eventually about being greedy, but, they call me waning, never punish. We make our way through the catacombs over here, taking on this very difficult invader. I almost lost my life. And make our way into Bellstat's arena, which, of course, right as I get up to him, the lightning paper had ran out. So, reapply and go to town. When fighting him, I find it best to try and roll in a way to get behind him. Usually he won't follow up if you do that, and it gives you some time to get a few hits. When he's in his second phase, try and make distance, because then he'll try and do this attack right here, which gives you a bunch of free counter hits. And say it with me, more damage equals more good. It's proper English. Just kind of bait that out. Make sure not to get hit with it because that's dark damage, and dark damage does a lot of damage. Heal up because, greeting was a lesson on greeting was learned. And then boom. We got the King's Ring. We're good to move on. Next up, what we got is might be a little odd to some, but we're gonna be doing the Throne Watcher and Defender next. See, I think about it like if we save them to do them, then the Chandra, then we don't have the Estus, we don't have the initial HP bar, we don't have the starting durability. So I find it better to fight them now and Nashandra later. We also summon Benhart. Now, he's stupid. He literally will just kick them. That I think it's because they have their shields up and he's like, "Oh, let me shield break them," or whatever it's called. Which is just no, not how the game works, Benhart. But what he does is be a good distraction. And with them swinging a lot more at him, that means it's more free hits for us, which leads to an easy victory. And then here's where, as I said earlier, I buy some more arrows. I just go all the way out, bought a little more than I possibly need. I gotta make sure I got enough. And then I still had one more bright bug, and I decided I'm gonna pop it here. See, the Guardian Dragon isn't an issue. However, my last run, I died to the Drake Keepers, so I decided I'm going to be better safe than sorry. Now, there's two ways you can fight the Guardian Dragon. Here, of course, just stab him with the sword. Never fails. But, he flies away a lot, and that's obviously annoying. So remember how I said buy some arrows? You can use them against him too. I recommend doing both, but when you pull out the bow, you do lose the lightning paper on your sword. So if you plan on using the bow, maybe don't buff your weapon. If you plan on just using the weapon, then go ahead, buff it. These guardians are pretty annoying to fight. You don't do like massive damage, and some of them are just hard to get quick hits on. But honestly, I find it safer to take them out than to try running. Now, this guy, you could run. In fact, I kind of would even recommend running from this guy. However, if I'm doing, I just felt like if I'm already doing the bit, I might as well commit. So, challenge him. All you really gotta do is wait till he swings, back up, and then start swinging yourself, and that typically should do it. Because if you just start swinging randomly, he will just start dodge rolling, and that's annoying. So just wait till he whiffs an attack, go in yourself, and eventually, it'll take a bit because again, he just is really annoying, but you'll take him down. And if you're like me, you'll have just enough durability to spare. Honestly, I didn't think the weapon had like that little. It's kind of weird. But we talked to Big Man Dragon. We get our Ashen Mist Heart, which means we can enter the Giant's memory. And here, just like the dragon, you got two ways of playing. You could use the bow, fight from the distance like most people would, or you can use the sword. Now, obviously, the bow is going to be pretty handy. You get up here, and you just keep firing away. And the damage is kind of terrible. 92 per shot. And so, if you want to do it, go ahead. But doing the sword is a lot more dangerous. You're going to get hit pretty frequently with some odd hitboxes and AoEs. You could also be hit by the fire. But if you play it right, it'll go a lot quicker and be a lot more engaging than the bow strategy. And if you've been following along, that means this is it. This is the final boss. And if you made it this far, then do subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I make a lot of different challenge runs I enjoy doing. And when I reach 400 subscribers, I'll be doing a 7x7 challenge run where I complete 7 challenge runs in 7 days. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. But anyways, it's time for Nashandra, and she puts out her cursed orbs. If you get cursed, it does not mean you don't get the ring. You still get it if you get cursed, so do keep that in mind. It's not the end of the world if you get hit by it. However, obviously, it's still not that good if you get cursed, because, I mean, it's lowering your HP bar. Nashandra, best thing to do is try to either wait till she does one of her beams, because that's just free damage, or try and roll in a way that gets behind her, because obviously she doesn't have like a spin attack, which means you get some pretty good free hits. And all you really gotta do is break one or two orbs and then kind of bait her to walk towards you that way. Easiest way to take her out. And I mean, that's all there really is to say about Nishandra. Go left, go right, and make sure you do it right. And before you know it, you'll have done the game deathless. This took me about 2 hours on this attempt after about 2 years of trying doing different challenge runs, all giving me information and strategies for this run. And again, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very fun to get this done. And if you do it yourself, let me know in the comments if you know a better way to get this done. Don't tell me, because I feel like this is clearly it, and I don't want to be proven wrong. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, and hopefully you should see me in the next video.